Oh, I guess I'm still doing. All right. Yo. Welcome to another edition of the Geeky Bros Podcast. Clearly, I'm not at my house, so there was a little bit of confusion on who was going to start the intro, but I got it. I recovered quickly. All right. I'm your boy Tactix.
It's just Darcy.
And this is Big Geek Umar. How are y'all doing today?
We good.
Well, apparently someone's not good when they're out of their element.
Yeah, I'm slipping, bro. I'm slipping. But I like this. I like this new mic, man. It's so professional. I sound dope right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm definitely feeling some mic envy right now.
I'm ready to cut an album right now. For real.
Like both these microphones are like nice, and then yours is like a stick.
That's all I got.
All right, I'm kidding. I'll pass it over to you, Umar. What's our agenda?
Okay, our agenda is going to be predominantly focusing on the DC animated universe. We're talking about the movies that DC has been doling out since, well, the 90s, really. So my first question to you guys is, out of all the DC animated films that you've seen, what are your top 3 choices?
Is it me again?
You guys had no reaction, so I thought one of you guys would be like, Anyway, so let's go with Darcy. Darcy, what's your top 3?
And
it doesn't have to be any of the DCAU. I'm talking about all DC animated films out there right now.
Okay. So I don't know why you had to go with me first, because as you can see, I'm packing, so my brain has been in multiple places.
Yo, but it's also your birthday. Well, it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why you go first, bro. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah. Apparently birthdays mean volunteers tribute.
Actually, it does. When you turn a certain age, you kind of have to start getting on there.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're a nice ripe old age. All right, Cliff. Okay, so in no particular order, let me go off of the top of the couple of these. I have to put Flashpoint out there. Flashpoint is the bomb. I don't know. I love the animation style of that New 52 thing, and it is a big part for me. But I also really love just the overall, the story is wicked. All the reinterpretation of everything. One that sticks with me that I think about every so often. No, I don't know if I want to put that one on the list. What's the name of I forget the name right now. So there's a Superman movie where he dies in the end of it, and it's like a different art style.
All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman. I loved that one. There was just the human element to the storytelling, the way he was portrayed. That was a big thing for me. It just kind of surprised me how much I was going to enjoy that film. And the series of The Dark Knight.
The 2-part Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah. I mean, unless we want to separate those into 2 separate films. But
no, I count them as one film.
Yeah, that. And so if I were to rank those, it's going to go Dark Knight. Then it's going to go
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns. I know, but I was shortening it, bro. Chill over there. Stop with your mic envy. Relax, okay? So it's gonna go Dark Knight Returns. Then All-Star Superman, and then Flashpoint.
Interesting. Actually, I actually am really impressed with that. Okay.
Yeah, especially since I'm flying by the seat of my pants. But let me put out the honorable mention that sticks with me. Oh, now I have 2. I was trying to remember one, and then all of a sudden another one slid into the DMs. So the Superman with do I want to switch this one out? The Superman that where he faces the British gang.
Oh, the Elite.
Oh, that was so good. That's so good. And then there was another one. I forget. I'll come back to it.
Okay. All right. So we'll do our top 3 in order, and then 1 or 2 honorable mentions afterwards. All right. So T, what are your top 3 and honorable mentions?
Okay. So my first one is Flashpoint, hands down. I loved Flashpoint, because I didn't know the story of Martha and Thomas Wayne and that whole dichotomy, and her that to me was dope. Like that was like the first time that I actually found out about that specific storyline. Sorry, am I peeking?
I accidentally hit mute on you for a second there.
Oh damn, bro!
There is like a couple words. Okay, I'm like listening to you, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should adjust the mic.
Rewind. Okay.
All I heard was about like Thomas Wayne and Martha, and then you were like, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm just saying that was like the first time I actually found out about that storyline. I didn't know that they had actually did that because I was never a Flash fan until Flashpoint.
Oh, okay. So you didn't know about her becoming the Joker?
No, I had no idea, no clue, and I was just like, "Yo, that'd be fucking dope. I want to see that as an actual movie."
It was a very, very dark comic because they did like a side story for that, and basically it's Batman trying to like she keeps killing like firstborn sons.
I think I saw. That's still in Flashpoint, right? Or is that? Yeah. So I think I read. No, I didn't technically read it. I watched Comistorian, but I feel like I read it, and so I know the storyline. And I know that hurts you, bro. I'm sorry.
It's not like I don't buy you, I've stopped now. But it's not like I don't buy you graphic novels for your birthday.
You don't. So anyway,
not anymore.
My second one would be Under the Red Hood.
I actually thought that was going to be your number one.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with number two. It close. Like it. Flashpoint wins by a dick hair, bro. It's like that, you know, like
as opposed to a regular hair.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, if your regular hairs and your dick hair are the same length, we got conversations to be had. I'm like right now, I'm looking at your hair, man. It looks like if it go down, it would be bangs,
right,
okay? Bro? You know, I don't want no bangs hanging between, you know.
Oh man. Yeah, so Under the Red Hood, I love that storyline as well. I didn't know much about Jason Todd. I didn't even know he was like hated on by majority of the fans to the point where they actually
to be killed.
Yeah,
man.
like I was like, damn, like how bad is this motherfucker? So yeah, I found that interesting, and then the fact that he takes on the mantle of Joker's old persona or whatever, or his old character, and use that as like a symbol type of thing, and then he's just like folding villains, bro, like just doing what Batman essentially refused to do, which I found to be really dope. And like, is he like he's like an anti-hero now, right? Or he splits between anti-hero and hero, but like he was an anti-hero for a while. Now I think they've moved him back to hero. Yeah, just make a decision, man. What the fuck? Anyway, and then The Dark Knight Returns is my my number three. Yeah, especially part two, man. Holy, that's what I was hoping Batman v Superman would have been.
Mm-hmm. That's what we were all hoping.
Like when we went to Niagara, I was so hyped for that, and you knew ahead of time. You didn't say shit, and I went in there on my birthday so excited. I was like, "Yes, this is what we're gonna get," and then I was fucking disappointed. We went in with fucking onesies, bro.
Okay,
you let me dress up in a onesie.
First of all, I didn't know whether you would dislike it or not because Darcy actually enjoyed BVS, and I was like, I don't want to get his hopes down.
That fucking hurt my soul, bro.
It hurt. I had to watch it. I watched it the second time for you, man.
No fucking.
Yeah, and of course I enjoyed it, and I watched it 4 times. And then the unedited
extended cut,
came out, and then I really enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I will give the extended cut some credit. It was a slight step up, but not by much. Not by much.
I was like, this did not help me at all. In fact, it just added another half hour of something I already disliked.
Yeah.
But okay. So Flashpoint, Under the Red Hood, and Dark Knight Returns. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I expected those three. I just didn't expect them in that order. So okay, but no, Darcy, I like the fact that you completely. I didn't see any of those coming.
Bro, you don't know me, man. You don't know me. I don't even know me.
Okay. Well, so any honorable mentions?
Man, I don't know. Gun to my head, probably Justice League War.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've enjoyed that movie, but I also there's something like missing in that movie for me at the same time.
I wanted Justice League to be like that.
Yo, I mean, I'm just saying, if Justice League was like that, we would have been a far better film. It would have felt like there was something like, again, what was missing from it, whereas like it just kind of like it checked all the boxes, but I wanted like something to tie the whole thing and give it like an extra edge or something, or an extra like depth to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the Snyder Cut will be, whether we'll get that closer to a Justice League War, or if it's like something that, like, well, as it was already. But okay. Nice honorable mention. All right, so here's mine. My number one, hands down, has been and will forever be Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That is the Batman film for me. In fact, I would say it is, even now, including all live action, Batman Mask of the Phantasm is the most Batman film I've ever watched.
Okay.
It has the best Joker and Batman like interactions. It beautifully translated from TV screen to like movie theater screen, and I saw that in the movie theaters, before you youngins were born.
Bro, we're like 1 to 2 years age difference. Okay.
I'm just glad I had both of your expressions at the same time. You're all like,
like, are you not telling us something? Like, is that driver's license a lie?
Yeah. So like, that movie, like, the fact that it was a film noir, the fact that we had Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill at their best, at their peak, and the fact that we had like the orchestral music, we had the introduction of the Phantasm, and like it was just magnificent. And I can understand that because I'm not sure when you saw it, Darcy, but like Tactix, I showed it to you like 2-3 years ago. So this is after you'd seen, well, literally your entire top three. You'd seen all your top three by that point, and then you saw Mask of Phantasm. So you're like, they don't fight as much. It's kind of dated, but like at least you recognize that the story was done well. But yeah, so like for me, Mask of Phantasm is the most definitive Batman film of all time. Number two, I'm gonna have to say is Batman Under the Red Hood. Having that translation from comic to screen and actually do a better job than the comic did is kind of something that I'm just like, you don't, like, as we've seen from many other like iterations of like translations, the translations always like they take out stuff and they change things to like make things work for movies, and sometimes you lose things. This was the one time where I'm like, they actually took out some good parts that like I just felt were like getting too much, and they kept the story consistent. And also that fight sequence between Red Hood and Batman at the end, where he's like beating Red Hood to shit in the bathroom, and then just like punches him through a wall. I was like,
dude got folded.
Yeah, yeah. And also it asked the actual question. It's like, is Batman actually doing more harm? Is he being selfish? He's choosing to not kill someone who is literally filling graveyards and will continue to do so by sacrifice, like by choosing not to sacrifice his own personal code. So Under the Red Hood, solid number two. And I gotta say, number three, I would say, I'll have to go with Green Lantern First Flight.
Oh shit, I forgot about that one. That one was pretty dope too.
Yeah, because like Green Lantern and Wonder Woman are kind of tied for me, but if I'm being really honest, I liked Green Lantern a little bit more because they killed people like crazy in that one, and then like then again Wonder Woman did too, but like I don't know, like I guess I had more of a shock value with Green Lantern, and also it was dope to see them like the core just like flying around doing their stuff.
Is that the one where he goes like Super Saiyan at the end?
Yeah.
Yo,
he goes against
yeah.
Sinestro.
Oh man, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That one was
Yeah, because the voice acting was phenomenal, and also like the animation was gorgeous, and the ring use was just because like by that point we had seen like Jon Stewart making orbs for like 4 seasons of Justice League animated series. Then all of a sudden we get this, and like they're like making spaceships and like stabbing each other with swords and and Hal Jordan's like picking up he makes a folding chair and like hits some guy over the face with it, and you're just like, yo man, like this is so like, and then but for me Wonder Woman almost got there. It had such a phenomenal use of Greek mythology and just like bringing in Wonder Woman to the modern age and also talking about feminism. They had a couple of lines here I wish they had changed, but aside from it, it had like a fairly decent description of feminism and Wonder Woman together. And it's kind of what I think the live action with Gal Gadot was trying to do. They went a very different route, which was actually I liked as well. Like they kept it a period piece as opposed to bringing it to the modern age. But yeah, so. I'm going to say that Wonder Woman's my honorable mention, with Dark Knight Returns being my second honorable mention.
I don't think I saw Wonder Woman.
You did, because you saw it at my house.
You're talking about the anime?
The animated one.
Clearly not making it into his
No, you did, because basically, remember when we were using those foam swords to like fight, and then like I taught you how to like fight the way Wonder Woman taught those kids how to fight, and you just looked at me, you're like, bro, seriously?
No, I don't think I was there for that, bro.
It was you.
I feel like we should let this die.
I showed it to you.
You're so sad over here. Umar, I'm gonna give you what my other honorable mention was. I forget the name of the movie though, but because this is how I am. I gotta throw out descriptions and you can give me back the titles. It wasn't Justice League Dark, but it was the alternate version of like what if Superman landed in Mexico and was like basically like kind of Mexican.
That one. Yeah. Actually, it wasn't Superman though, because it was Zod.
Oh yeah, it was Zod's child.
Yeah. That was Justice. Oh, let me look that up because I know which one you're talking about.
Not the Russian one.
No, that Russian one was good.
Red Sun.
What's that?
The Red Sun is the one you're talking about.
Oh, I love Red Sun. Red Sun's good. Red Sun is higher for me than
Gods and Monsters.
I liked so it's Gods and Monsters. So for me, a lot of times when it comes down to these movies, it is something makes an impression on me that sticks with me. And that movie as a whole doesn't make an impression on me. But the thing that made an impression on me was Superman. Just the fact that he landed in Mexico, and the whole premise of him being a minority and coming up in that minority world and then seeing it differently. Because the thing about Superman that allows him to also be like, other than the fact that he wasn't Zod's child, because Zod's child obviously has DNA that's going to make him more aggressive. But one of the things that allows him to be so good is that he, even though he did face his own individual adversity, he also lived a life of privilege coming up. And so they placed Superman in a life of the opposite of privilege, in refugee, in minority, under the guise of racism. And then but he's unlimited in power. Yeah. And so it was just like the scenes and the dialogues that he would have at certain points with like Wonder Woman or the Wonder Woman version and stuff like that, that I was like, the questions that story asked was what stood out to me. The rest of it, like, I didn't really love the Batman. I kind of enjoyed the vampire-ish Batman character, but I also was annoyed with the fact that he was a vampire and not really like a real Batman. And other characters were cool, and like they were like whatever to me. Like everything else is kind of like whatever. But it was that Superman question that was like, oh, I like that you did that. Otherwise, this whole movie would have been just kind of for me. So.
For me, I would say that my favorite, because I wasn't a huge fan of, like, I wasn't a big fan of Justice League War, mostly because it started doing the New 52 stuff, and I hated the New 52 and everything about it. But, well, minus all the Batman stuff, like the comics, anyway. But I would say one of my favorite Justice League films was Crisis of Two Earths, where you had like James Woods as Owlman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of the guy they played. Like I think it was like one of the Baldwin brothers, like William Baldwin, who did Batman's voice. He was okay. He wasn't terrible. Like we've definitely had terrible before, but he was okay. But like I love the fact that like you saw like a crazy psycho Batman and James Woods is playing him, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's pretty badass. And like they're doing the Infinite Earths and like all the flashes and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, definitely. What was that one you just mentioned a minute ago though? I feel like I with Tactics. What was the one you mentioned a second ago?
Justice League War. Or...
No, something else.
Doom?
Doom's good, but no, I can't remember. But it was just like there's the one you mentioned. I was like, I really like that film, and I forget what it was. It's any of the ones that like had some kind of like emotional level to them. I was like, yeah. Oh, it was Red Sun.
Oh, Red Sun, right? Yeah, yeah.
That I love that one. I feel bad I didn't put that on my list because it's like
You
that,
still can.
Yeah, well, I mean, the list is a ever going and moving. It's a fluid thing, right?
Oh, well, yeah, because like with the more movies that come out, they'll
Yeah.
change.
But I feel like the Red Sun is a bit of, for me, the Dark Knight Returns of Superman, right? Like it's I love the naivety that comes out of that character and the questions that it asks, and like his character, the core of the character they're trying to keep, but in a completely different world, different society. And a lot of the stuff I like about every time I see a Superman film that I enjoy is because it's really about asking like what is the right thing to do in the context of that they place the character in. And that's, I think, the most powerful part about the Superman stories, because it's not his power, it is his choice of who to become. It's kind of in a way like anime, where they have the most powerful character who goes through the entire journey, and it's an introspective journey. And you put Superman in these stories, and then you have to ask those kinds of questions in usually a more Western context and storytelling style. So that's why like these Superman movies, hit for me.
Okay, so actually, I like the direction you've taken this. So, like, allow me to ask you both a question regarding the DC animated films in general. So would you say that since you started watching them to now, would you say that they are getting better? Are they getting worse, or are they like kind of going up and down? What are your thoughts on that?
It's up and down for me. Like I think they started off really strong with the like Under the Red Hood, and I feel like with like when we got to Flashpoint, it kind of took a big dip. Like Flashpoint was really really good, and then it just kind of went up and down. Like there's a lot of good moments in a lot of them, but as a whole, I can't say that I fully can appreciate any of these animated movies. Like I liked certain aspects of Hush. I liked certain aspects of Court of Owls.
Yeah.
But as a whole, it didn't really do much for me. So yeah, it's really been a lot of up and down, like a roller coaster type of thing in terms of quality and storyline and stuff. So yeah.
How about you, Darce?
It's definitely a roller coaster. Like, and some movies don't need to be, as deep or as like, The Dark Knight Returns, right? Like, Justice League Dark is a lot of fun. And dark at the same time, but like I like the humor that comes out of it. And, they don't all need to be super crazy and intense. But they definitely be up and down. Hush, Court of Owls are weak, like they have their moments, but they're weak. It's like a bunch of the Batman ones they've been weak because they try to take these giant comic books series, and then they try to condense them into, let's do this in 1 hour and 20 minutes, and you're like, you need 3 films, or you need 2 films, right? Like you need to set this up and then complete it. And you don't have time to do that in 1 hour and 20 minutes. If you really want to like do this in one film, then make it like a 3-hour film and make it feel like you're gonna dedicate an hour to each like major part of the arc of the story. But they try to condense it, like, okay, well, an hour and 20 minutes, and what you're trying to do is like, that's like what, 40 minutes an arc? Right, like or 40 minutes. What is it called? Part 1, part 2, and part 3. Acts. Sorry, I'm saying arcs, but I mean to say acts. Yeah, you only have like 3 acts, and you're doing 40 minutes an act, and it's like it's too fast when you have a ton of content to try to condense. And you don't have to keep all of it, but you're missing it. You're skipping through it too fast. But yeah, some of them are good, and then some of them are weak. And I kind of feel like with the animated, as much as I want to make like the MCU in the animated stuff, they're always strongest when they do the individual story and they flesh out that individual story in a good way. Like the one with I like the new Superman that they did. I actually am excited to see the Superman of Tomorrow or Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I hear a lot of really good things about that thing.
It's set up well for a future telling. I love the animation style. I wasn't sure about it when I saw the pictures, but I'm like, it looks really intriguing. It
Okay.
looked very 1950s, 1930s, I don't know, like old school cartoon. If you were to take that and then stick it into like completely modern, clean lined aesthetics, it's just like a really interesting mix. I love how it was like they approached it in terms of telling as an origin. They approached it the same way they did with the new Spider-Man. In terms of
Like
is it Homecoming, the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
So they approached it like that, where it's like certain things are established. We don't have to tell you these things. Like I don't tell you about the parents. That's already like they exist and you see them and they interact with them. And they do some origin like things like give him a suit, but which is very the classic mother gives a suit, which is amazing. But they don't like harp too long over like these things. Like certain things are established, certain things are going to happen in the middle of the story that helps him kind of ascend, but he's already been doing it. Like he's already been doing it in regular clothes kind of behind the scenes, and so he's got something established but people don't really know, and then immediately it's like here's the big threat, and then things start get rolling, and it's good. And then there's like multiple layers of threats that are happening. There's like 3 villains in it, but it's not overly chaotic because it's not like beat the villain, go to the next villain, beat the next villain, go to the next villain. They're all interconnected, and it all makes sense why they're there. Like with all 3 of them, they actually work really well. And so this is I'm hoping that we're going to be on an upward trajectory, and they're really thinking about their stories, because this one I really enjoyed it. Like they give me another film, I'm down watching it right away.
To be honest, like okay, so I'll give my answer and then I'll come back to this part. For me, I'm kind of in agreement with you guys a little bit. Like for me, I was in like this for the like when the DC animated movies were coming out. Very rarely did I watch a movie that I was like the most I would say is like the rest of the time I was like, oh, that was awesome, or yo, I gotta watch that again, or yo, I gotta watch it with my friends. Like I had so many, like I had to watch Green Lantern with so many people, Wonder Woman with so many people, all the Dark Knights and stuff. And I'm with you. Immediately, and I mean immediately after Flashpoint Paradox, it was like a nosedive for me in terms of quality. It's like I felt Warner Brothers gave a direction to like the animated people, and it's like we need more like sexy scenes, we need a lot more blood, we need like this type of animation, and like cut all the like the dialogue and stuff down, and just keep it to like the cool parts. Don't try to do any real character development. And that was like something that really bothered me, and to the point that I've actually stopped watching the animated stuff. Like I based on your descriptions, I didn't even touch Batman Hush because I was like, that's one of my favorite comics, and I'm like, I can't go through what you like Tactix described to me.
You've made the right choice.
Because I actually read that comic, and it's like the ending they botched completely.
The whole thing they botched. I was like, because I read the comic too. It's like the first one you got, I think both of us onto, or at least I know I was like the first one when you started pushing me onto stuff, and I was like, where are all the twists? And I was just like, what? Like when you read something like that, and there's a lot, and you read over time, and you don't remember all the details. I'm like watching this an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm like, where are all the details?
and Tommy Elliott is completely useless in the movie. Like he does not play a pivotal role in it at all. Like it's like they just kind of put him in there, but like, oh, because he's part of Hush, and he's completely wasted.
You know what is good though, and I want to call it the New 52 era.
Yeah,
is the Suicide Squad's the 2 films.
Yeah, I would say like that. Like, Assault on Arkham is possibly the only film since Flashpoint that I actually enjoyed.
What was the follow-up film that they did? I also really enjoyed it.
I didn't enjoy it. I was just like, it actually completely escapes me because I don't remember it very well. I know they did it. I
love the callback to Flashpoint though in that.
Yeah, that twist.
With Reverse Flash.
That twist.
Holy. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, that was a really good.
That was
clip.
interesting. It wasn't as good, but it was interesting, and it held my attention. Because I think that was when I had hope that things would turn around, and it didn't. And then they started like adapting a lot of like the storylines that I like, a lot of the comics that I like. Like, I mean, when they did Justice League Atlantis, I was so hopeful that they would actually listen. Because the thing is, the comic is so well done, and they like you finally are doing an Aquaman, and you can do it right, and they just threw it down the drain. And I was like, come on, guys.
Down the drain, back into Atlantis. I couldn't help it. It was so cheesy.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here's a question for you guys. Out of, as much as you can remember, out of all the DC animated films, what were your top favorite moments? Like things that made you go. I'll go first. Give you guys a little bit of time. Because I can see both of you just like...
Well, I'm trying to think of ones that I haven't already just said.
Yeah.
Like, I just said a whole bunch, so...
Okay, so for me, I would have to be... So one would be in Green Lantern first... No, actually, no. Like, I think the one, like, definitively badass moment was when in The Dark Knight Returns, I think it's part 2, is his entire altercation with Two-Face. Like him on the roof, him like taking on guards on one building, and then fighting like Harvey Dent on the second building, and also finding out that Harvey Dent, like the bad side, is the one that actually has taken over, while like the face has the actual like full face of Harvey Dent. I think that was one of my wow, like we're living in a golden age of just animated films right now. A second thing, it has to be Green Lantern First Flight is when Boudica is found out to be like the twist is that she's the villain, and she like tries to kill Hal Jordan, and he like causes her to blow something up, and she just gets impaled from the back, and then she like slowly slips off it, and I was just like, and I
was so silent.
I was silent. Like when it happened, I was like, and then I think, yeah, I'm trying to think of ones I haven't already said. Ooh, the ending fight scene, like the final fight scene of Flashpoint Paradox, like that just was eye candy.
Got you. All right, I'm gonna jump in next here.
All right.
I have at least 2. Okay, Dark Knight Returns, the Joker on the television scene. I've even shown that to people who like don't give a crap about watching watch that film, and they've just seen that scene. They're like, "That is whoa!" They're like, "Wait, this is what these movies are like? Like these aren't for children at all. Like that's not for children." Okay, so that's one. The second one is going back to Superman versus the Elite. The whole when he comes down from space and he's got like the blood in his eye, and just like the setup that he does, and the whole like it's like speaking from God. Like,
yeah,
I'm still like, did he build telekinesis in that film? Like, or like whatever when you or telepath? Sorry, when you speak into people's minds.
Yeah, telepathy.
What did he do? Like it was like. Did he get new powers and shit?
And then he fucking lobotomized the guy?
Yeah.
Holy bro.
Like, just insane. Just insane. And I'm going to come back and I'll think of a third one. I'll pass over Tactix.
Okay, so I'll do one from each of my picks. Okay, so in Flashpoint, definitely the end fight, but because you already mentioned it, I'm going to jump in on another one. The reveal of Martha turning into the Joker. That fucking floored me. I was like, what just happened? Because I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know. So that caught me way off guard.
Yeah.
So that moment was dope. And then from Under the Red Hood, there's so many good moments in that. So one of them that sticks out in my mind is the Joker scene where he's in prison. He's talking to Black Mask, and then
Oh yeah,
he slits the guy's throat with the glass, and
glass.
then kills all of them. And he's like, "Yo, I need some new guys, but not these guys because they're kind of dead." I was like, "Yo, that is some fucking gangster ass shit." And then of course the fight between him and the fight between Batman and Jason
Red Hood.
Todd. Yeah. That was dope. But for the Dark Knight Returns, the Batman versus Superman, that end fight, and then with Green Arrow shooting the fucking thing with like his legs and oh man. Like,
his teeth. It was his teeth.
Yeah. But yeah, that fight scene, that's what I was hoping we would get in BVS, and
we didn't even get close. The most we got is he picked up a sink and hit him over the head with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like a puff of kryptonite at one point. That's like the arrow. I mean, technically it is, but it's like a weak version.
Sorry, not just that. I wanted to jump in on another one. When Joker kills himself.
Yeah.
Yo, that was messed up.
Yeah,
he killed so many people in his last act.
That was crazy.
I'm gonna throw one more out from the Dark Knight Returns, and I gotta say that this is fantastic that it made it into BVS. Is the whole Batman through the wall scene?
Yeah,
it's such a small thing. It's not like a whole scene, but it was just like the whole whoa, the arms through and pulls the guy through. You're like, and then we saw that in the actual movie, and I was like I'm so happy that we got to see that twice in two different mediums.
I'm going to throw in one last one myself, and it's going to be from Mask of the Phantasm. Darcy, you've seen Mask of the Phantasm, right?
Yeah. You hooked me up with that a while ago.
I'm going to have to say that just after the big fight between Joker and Batman, when Andrea Beaumont shows up and she picks up the Joker and she's like, I'm going to, like, you know, one way or another it ends tonight. And then the entire complex starts exploding. And it's like, you know, like the explosions are all over the place, and like Batman is beaten as fuck, and the Joker is like being held up by his t-shirt, and then he just like everyone just looks over to see all the explosions, and then the Joker just starts laughing, completely uncontrollably, completely maniacally, and so much so that he finds the idea that they're all going to burn to death and die together in this massive explosion that he set up is something that he finds so hilarious, and falls to his knees laughing because he can't control himself. And then she gets taken, and then she takes him away into like the smoke, and Batman's left all by himself and is like saved by God in a way where it just so happens to be standing over a drain. It then so happens to take him all through like the sewer systems and drops him safely off at the end. And then he just like comes out of the water completely defeated, watching the woman he's loved disappear with his greatest enemy. And he just watches the city of the future explode. That was the most poetic and like most satisfying thing, because like I remember feeling haunted as a kid by that scene, because prior to that I had just watched the animated series and I'd watched the 1960s Batman. So for me, the Joker never was a scary character except Jack Nicholson, and like I got scared by Jack Nicholson, and then Mark Hamill made me feel okay. Like I never felt scared from Mark Hamill's the Joker until Mask of the Phantasm, when he started killing people. And then when that moment happened, I'm just like, holy shit, this is fucked up. And I'm like, I was just like, it's just so beautiful. Like it's everything about it was so sad and depressing, but also so visually and like thematically beautiful.
Totally random, but just as a yes or no question, who likes like the 1960s Batman, like the whole kapow Batman?
I grew up.
So, sorry, what were you saying, T?
Nah, like I grew up watching it, like the reruns. Like I remember, like very distinctly, like my mom would make me like Lipton soup, and like she'd have it waiting for me at 4:00 every day, and I'd come home and I would sit down and I'd watch it.
Gotcha.
So
it's nostalgic for me. Like it's not like I go back and watch it all the time, but like if it's on TV and if I have nothing else to do, I'll sit down and watch this and I'll enjoy it. I'll be like, oh, look at these guys.
Yeah.
I remember watching when I was young, and it was kind of cool, but I never really liked it. I always thought it was just too cheesy. And I think but when I was young, my first introduction to Batman wasn't that I read it, but I saw comic book covers of Batman, like the badass, like looking when his character had been shifted from the 1960s to like what we know and love him to be now. Like after I think was it no, I'm gonna say the wrong guy. Like Frank Miller had shifted the
Batman Year One,
and all that stuff. And so my first memory of Batman was like that style, and then I saw the like the 1960s one. I was like, what the hell is that?
They definitely changed it there. What did you guys think of Batman Year One? I just remember they made that movie. I did not like it.
I don't remember a lot about it.
Yeah,
I remember Selena Kyle was in it, and she was like
almost naked.
Yeah, they did like the prostitute thing.
Yeah, actually, okay, it wasn't part of the movie, so I don't think this counts in our discussion, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. So, Darcy, you brought up Gods and Monsters, right? Like Justice League Gods and Monsters. Do you remember the Superman side story that they did with the Brainiac kid?
Vaguely familiar at the moment.
I would say like that, like I think it was like an 8-minute clip that like was like basically like a very short story. I think that is the only thing of that entire franchise or like movie sort of thing was possibly the greatest thing I'd seen for a while, because it was basically Brainiac is like a 5-year-old kid who is being built by like the U.S. government to actually take out Superman if ever he went like rogue, but he's completely out of control, and he's just this innocent little kid who just he can't. He's crying. He's actually in a lot of pain, and the reason why it's happening is because he's out of control and in pain. And Superman is trying to calm him down, but he's like, "I can't." And he just looks at him and says, "Just do it." And Superman kills him, but he does it like reluctantly, and then just kind of like looks up in like this house. He's like, and that was the entire thing. I was like,
yeah. No, I remember that. And see, that was like everything that was good about that film was about Superman. And it was so much that it was like, what happens if you take Superman and you flip everything upside down? What does that mean in every situation? And he's like, he's a good guy who's not a good guy. He's almost an anti-hero, but it wasn't really an anti-hero because he was kind of
he's just a regular guy with superpowers who has like that responsibility thrust on him.
But a regular guy in the context of the society he grew up in and how he was viewed in that society. Right? It's not even the question of like, oh, he's the alien and all that kind of stuff. It is literally like taking the difference between where you start out in our real world, but you have unlimited power, and what happens from that point. Because he has all these like motives around money that the other Superman doesn't have, and a lot of that comes from coming up where you don't have, and nothing is given from you, and most is taken, to where you do have, and he's privileged, and that it paints such interesting parts of that story. And I would have actually enjoyed like less of it about being the team and more of it about just being about him, and the team, serves to help the story along where they're needed.
To be honest, I think they I agree with you. They missed a mark. They shouldn't have been a Justice League movie. It should have been a Superman movie, and a Superman where Zod's son is actually like they replaced Jor-El's DNA with Zod's son, but the thing is, it didn't turn him evil. It just, he's still a good guy, but he's living up in like because Zod is a little bit more, I guess you could say, ethnic origin than like a pure white dude. It turns out that he just had a different perspective, and that would have actually, I agree with you, that would have been a much better story.
It was in there, like that story was in there, and it was like at least a third of the movie, but if not more. But it was just that you had to take away from that to go back to the other things that felt more like Justice League War in a way, where then like it didn't feel like, what was that extra thing? That movie had the extra thing, and that extra thing should have been the entire movie.
Yeah. Okay, so interesting. Any other last minute honorable mentions from you guys? T?
No, I'm good. I got all mine out.
All right. So now we're gonna shift tracks a little bit, and I've been basically coming back to this topic a lot as a joke, but today it's serious, and we're going to talk about this seriously.
When you go in with like, it's serious, I'm like, nah. Why so serious?
Tactix a couple of weeks ago told us that he had started watching Harry Potter and then refused to comment any further. Today, Tactix, I would like to ask you, how have you only just seen the first film, or have you gone further than that?
Oh, this is gonna be a short segment.
Oh, it's so good.
I've only watched the first movie.
All right, what did you think of the first movie?
I mean, it's all right. I mean, you know me, I'm not into this fantasy genre, right? So I mean, I was bored. We were still in the lockdown. I didn't really have. I tapped all my resources in terms of things to watch, and so I was like, "Yeah, let me see what this Harry Potter thing is talking about."
You watched it by yourself?
Yeah, but is that?
Oh,
Yeah.
You watched it in quarantine.
Yeah.
I thought you would watch it with some other people, but okay, cool.
No, just myself. And
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it was all right. I mean, not much happens in the first one. I mean, Quidditch.
But you get introduced to the world.
Yeah, like Quidditch.
You know what's awesome right now? Okay, so Umar's going in with all the excitement. You know, he's ready for this moment.
I'm trying to keep it under control, though.
And here's the thing: what's happening right now? Umar is waiting for Tactix to like make like a commitment to this franchise, like a marriage. And Tactix over here, like, nah, man, it was like, you know, it was a night, you know, like I was lonely, and you know, she slid over in the DMs, and
it just happened. It's not like I'm out there like looking for like it to be serious, you know.
a little Quidditch and chill, you know.
Yeah.
A little Quidditch and chill, you know. You know,
she just keeps calling me, man. Like, shit, bro, relax.
And I keep trying to like
I got
put you
other
guys
movies, yo. Like,
I'm like a matchmaker who just refuses to admit that it didn't work out.
Oh man, you know, it's just the wrong house. Okay,
Yeah.
just the wrong house. Okay.
like because I know of what's the guy's name? The guy who shall remain nameless.
Voldemort?
That guy. Because I've seen him and I've seen like snippets of the action scenes between him and Harry Potter. Like that's got me kind of like I just want to get to that part. Like I want to skip all the other shit and just like let me just see that. Like, but I know I have to watch everything that leads up to it. Otherwise, I'm not going to really understand what's
happened.
Which movie is that? 2 or 3 or 4?
No. Like I would say like you saw snippets of like Voldemort fighting Harry.
Yeah,
that's like the last film, bro.
Oh damn! Okay.
But there's that one.
There's like how many of there are there? It's like 12.
There's 8 films.
Okay, good.
There's 8. I thought it was 7. Damn.
Oh, no. The 7 is split into 2.
Super high. I'm glad I did that because if it was more than that, holy.
No, because like I think for you personally that I knew the first one was going to be a hard sell for you. That's why the fact that you watched it and you're like, it was all right. I'm like, oh, thank God. I was like, at least he slept with her. But
you know, maybe you know, maybe something happened. Maybe you have to pay for child support, and you know, it'd be stuck. You know.
But like for me, I personally think that for you, Tactix, like 3 and 4 and 5 will probably be the ones that you'd be like, okay, shit, because like shit gets done at that time.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say those are the ones I could skip.
2, to be honest, I think 2 you can skip.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Because like, is he gonna be missing information? I feel like you're gonna miss information in that franchise. It's been a while since I've watched any of them,
or you could just give me the cliff notes and I could just.
To be honest, he the only time by the time he needs to like learn stuff regarding what happened in 2 is like the last movie. He'll be like, "Yo, where did they come? How did they know about this?"
So watch all this stuff and get really confused at the very end.
It's very clever, Umar.
Because like basically, it's not until the last movie that they even do things that like had to do with what happened in the second movie. Like there are a couple of characters who show up here and there. Oh, actually, that's true. Like a couple of characters do show up in the second movie that you'll be like, "Who the fuck is this person?"
Yeah.
But
I'm the kind of person where I'm like, I can't skip some content because I'm like, what am I missing, right? Even if I half-ass watch it, like, you know, put it on in the background while you're working. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Either that or, you know, wait for the loneliness of nights and just, you know, turn the lights down low and just bring it in.
I feel like that's you getting ahead while you're playing PlayStation.
To be be honest, I took it from a different perspective. I heard it more like Darcy's like having a lonely night, so he decides to like call the girl he ditched, and he's like, "Yo, baby, how you doing?"
Yeah, that's what I was going for. But the getting head while doing PlayStation. Now I'm thinking of like what is the joke? But like how Canadians watch hockey? Like would they do doggy style? So they can both watch at the same time.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. We all the way there. Like the Band-Aid comes off when you start talking about comparing dick hairs to regular hairs.
I love that. Oh, I love that a conversation about Harry Potter, a children's movie, got us to this point.
Oh man,
that is unfortunate jump of things. Yeah, can you imagine like you're writing down like the cliff notes of this? So how do you connect these 2 points?
Tactix, I look forward to how you're going to like name this segment of the chat in the table of contents.
I don't know.
Harry Potter, a one night stand.
Okay. I need to ask you the eternal question. You may not have enough information for it yet, but like nonetheless, here it is. T, what house do you think you'd be sorted under?
Oh man, that's a fucking loaded question, bro. I don't even remember the names.
Same. I was gonna make a joke earlier, and I'm like, "What's the name of the house that the guy with blonde hair is a part of?" Where my head was, I'm like, "I'm not trying to make that joke."
All right, so
yeah, like what's the deal with the houses? Like,
so Gryffindor is the one that Harry's in.
Okay.
The one with the bleached blonde hair, who's an asshole, is Slytherin.
Slytherin, okay.
Control yourself, Darcy.
No, it's just like. When you hear like Slytherin, I'm like, yeah, you know that's the bad house. Like it's a snake, and the guy's like looks like he's like a Nazi. You're like, Slytherin.
and actually, in the first movie that you've seen, Ron's like, there isn't a witch or wizard that didn't go bad that wasn't in Slytherin. Like it's known to have the most amount of dark witches and wizards.
They just need to get rid of that group then.
Yeah.
Like, why do they still have that?
Because that's where all the rich and pureblood people are from.
Yeah, so you go by one of their rooms and you're like, you see like Adolf Hitler in the background. You're like,
oh, and that's the thing. In the second movie, does introduce what Muggleborns and purebloods are, which is something you do need to know. Damn it, you do need. I say you do what Darcy does and do like half-ass watch it.
Yeah, like
that's what I did with the first one.
Yeah, you can't have an 8-film franchise and like skip a film. Like I'm just sorry, like there's gonna be something missing. Like by the time you get to the end,
I mean, when it comes to like Fast and the Furious, you can skip a whole bunch of those films.
Yeah, I mean, you skip number 2, then you're like, who the fuck is Tyrese? Oh, I couldn't help that. That was for you.
I know, because you know I hate Tyrese.
Like, how this motherfucker getting here? Holy shit!
Okay, yeah. So Gryffindor is the one with Harry Potter. Then it's Slytherin with the dude with the slick back hair. Then it's Hufflepuff, and like you haven't gotten to the point where any significant people are there. And then fourth is Ravenclaw. So hold up, let me pull these out and like these descriptions, and you can try to see which one you would fit under.
I can tell you right now. There's no way I'd be in House Hufflepuff. I don't know anything about them, but that name alone is it's like Slytherin and Hufflepuff are off the list.
Yo, there's nothing wrong with Hufflepuff, okay? Nothing wrong with it.
Umar is clearly a Hufflepuff, and
I am a Hufflepuff,
and dates a Slytherin on the side.
No, I would die before dating a Slytherin. That's like getting stabbed in the night while after something happens.
You should die for being in Hufflepuff.
You don't know enough to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, now I know exactly
Just
what Hufflepuffs are like. With that freaking like voice you just threw out.
Shut up. Okay, all right. Hold up. So these are the descriptions. Okay. So you might belong in Gryffindor, where dwell the brave at heart. Their daring, nerve, and chivalry sets Gryffindors apart. And then
Sorry?
They rhyme too? It's from a song. That's how you get to the descriptions.
Okay.
You might belong in Hufflepuff, where they are just and loyal. Those patient Hufflepuffs are true and unafraid of toil. And then Ravenclaw is...
Yeah.
We are known for the place that will take, like, we also take people who don't have anywhere else to be. So we're kind of like the rejects group as well.
Oh,
I'm not selling this, am I?
No. In a cast full of nerds and geeks, like they're the nerds and geeks that everyone else rejects.
Exactly. So okay, here's Ravenclaw. So it's like, or yet in wise old Ravenclaw, if you've a ready mind, where those of wit and learning will always find their kind.
So they're smartasses,
or just like studious people. Which I think Tactix you might fall under, because you said you love to read and you read a lot. And also they also have a lot of introverts there too. Anyway, so Slytherin is, or perhaps in Slytherin, you'll make your real friends. Those cunning folks use means to achieve their ends.
How are they real friends? And then you go like, how are you gonna say real friends? But they will cut you down to get what they want. I'm like,
well, yeah, because like they're full of like determination, resourcefulness, and pride, and cunning, and ambition,
and cut you down to get what they want.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then like with Ravenclaw, it's about wit, learning, wisdom, and acceptance, and intelligence and creativity.
That's me.
Yeah. Hufflepuff is hardworking, patient, fair, just, loyal, modest, and accepting.
Get rid of that class.
Shut up. and then Gryffindor is courage, bravery, pride, daring, and chivalry.
Ravenclaw.
Okay. How about you, Darcy? Which one do you fall under?
What was Ravenclaw again?
That's the one, the studious ones, the learning ones.
Ravenclaw.
No, I'm probably Gryffindor.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Even though I'm very analytical.
Gryffindor has smart people in it too. Like it has Hermione.
Yeah. No, I know that. I'm just saying to the point, like I feel like even though I can be very analytical and like at the same time very methodical before I act, I also like
you're
that.
Brave. Yeah,
I give it a week and then he's coming to Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Well, anything to stay out of Hufflepuff. like you know, I'll go back and forth between these two, but the other two are just out.
You know what I love? Like you guys have like well, I don't know about you, Darcy. I don't know how. Have you seen all of them, Darcy, or some of them?
No, I've seen all of them. I watched them like growing up, like in time and stuff like that.
Okay, I love how like Tactix has like literally just seen one movie, and just by this description alone, he's giving like all the shit to Hufflepuff that everyone has been giving to Hufflepuff for years. He's like, yo, Brad, I didn't even have to sleep with her to know that Hufflepuff's full of shit.
Bro, when you just like say Hufflepuff, I can't stop thinking of Kirby the game. like that's all what I imagine in my head.
Or Jigglypuff from Pokemon.
Yeah, you just think of something that's like, or like literally cotton candy, like just like things that are like soft and weak. Like it's called Hufflepuff.
But we got your backs.
Like
we actually do have your backs.
Like if you have like, you know, like what do you call when you have like an animal to represent what your team is? What do you call that?
They
again?
do have an animal.
No, I know, but what do you call that thing? If I get the word
mascot.
If you have a mascot, right? You have a snake. You have a bird. You have
a lion.
A lion, and then like what do you have? Cotton candy. Okay, like
badger.
Fucking badger.
That sounds way too strong for that name. Okay, Hufflepuff, badger. I'm sorry, that does not line up. You know what your thing is? Like, you know when a dandelion turns into that white thing? Hufflepuff with the wind.
Oh!
Every time Ravenclaw comes through flapping its wing, it's like no.
All right, so we got a Ravenclaw, we got a Gryffindor, we got a Hufflepuff. That is the Geeky Bros.
Oh man,
I like it. That is the perfect summary right now.
All right, so I guess we're ending it there.
Yeah, we are.
Alrighty. Well, this has been another edition of the Geeky Bros Podcast. I'm your boy Tactix.
I got nothing. It's Darcy.
And this is Big Geek Umar. Please like and subscribe and live long and prosper, y'all.
Peace.
Hufflepuff Umar.